Alrighty, folks. It is 10:15 p.m. on Friday nights, and this is the 2017 Golden Gate Bonspiel. And much like a regular old Friday night league night, we have House Hunters versus No Crack in the Hack on sheet 3. Your commentator has just gotten off the ice, so he probably won't be checking in for another couple of minutes while he changes his shoes and maybe has a beverage. But soon enough, he'll be joined by Andy Call. So I'm going to leave you with the on ice audio. Then.
No, I saw it earlier and I was like, that don't look right. Oh, wait, no, it's fine. Yeah, girl. was not a thing. Give me the ball away, huh? I will chip in on that cup. Maybe not the beer pouch, but definitely the ink cup. Okay. How much weight? Okay.
Good evening, curling fans. We are picking up the action here in the second end.
Actually, pretty dry.
Excellent. Welcome to the commentary booth. We are recording for posterity here for all the millions of fans across the world who will be watching us, no doubt, archived tomorrow.
Yeah, also for it to last for a long time in the future for a lot of people.
That's right. History in the making on sheet 3, as House Hunters are playing against No Crack in the Hack. Currently up 3-0, it seems.
So, Andy, do you think these teams know each other pretty well?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go with. Although I don't actually know who else on No Crack in the Neck. Let's see. I don't know who's from Oval Curling Club on that team.
So it's a whole bunch of people on this sheet who curl on Friday nights in Oakland. And
Yes.
we are in Friday night, but we're not in Oakland.
We're in fact in Fremont, California.
Alameda County.
True. As is it. You think that puts San Jose curlers at a disadvantage here? That we have to curl in an unfamiliar county?
No. The Fremont League is mostly populated with San Jose curlers.
True.
Although we expect that to change now with the opening of Warm Springs Park.
True. Would you call that walking distance from the ice? Two?
Yeah, it's sort of a virtual walk.
Yeah, it's a little hike.
Yeah.
It's through scenic Fremont, so. No.
Well, actually, it is one of the more scenic
Parts of Fremont, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair.
There's these fields out there where you might see burrowing owls, red-tailed hawks.
My favorite part about burrowing owls is they have burrowing owls at Cesar Chavez Park in Berkeley. And they have all these signs up at there that are like, don't kick the birds, whatever. But my favorite part of the sign is they say not to point at them. And why? Why can't you point at the
Why,
the
Andy,
bird?
can't you point at the birds?
Why can't you point at the birds? And according to the sign, and I don't know whether I believe the sign or not, the hawks have learned to watch where people are pointing, and then the hawks go and get the burrowing owls.
I would believe that. I would believe that.
So you got to watch out for that if you're a burrowing owl.
It's pretty funny. Sort of like people have dogs to help them hunt, and hawks have people to help them hunt.
That's right. Friendly tourists.
You know, there are all these theories on why we haven't found more intelligent life than us, and it could very well be that we're just too figure it out.
Pointing in the wrong direction. So, what is happening in curling? Looks like blue is sitting, I'm going to say 2. Although I'm not sure about that. That might just be 1. The one at the back of the house. It's not at the back of the house. It is the one in back of the ones that are counting. Ish. Blue already up 3. My favorite team in the Bonspiel currently leading 2-0 on sheet 1.
Are they? I'm having a hard time recognizing them. Do they have their tails on tonight?
I don't. They might lose a few points of spirit after 10 p.m.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah. I believe that team is usually asleep by 7 p.m.
As we build these matches, we can update folks on how the standings are panning out.
That does make sense. Like it. We are seeing. So for everybody, this is still game 2, right?
Game 2, yeah.
So who's a contender here?
So, Pool H, which is sheets 1 and 4, both matches feature one team that's 1-0 and another one that's 0-1. Right. So, Cautionary Tale are currently leading their 0-1, Snow Problem 1-0. And over on sheet 4, the Coastal Rocks won their first one. They're up 1-0 against the Jivey Juniors. Chosen Ice Mafia.
The juniors, who have a very confusing rotating lineup. Amorphous.
Yeah, I think they're really pretty settled in now.
That's good. Who would you say of these 8 teams has the best name?
You know,
It's tough. Throwing shade has a certain subtle charm to it.
drinking for two, with their full name.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's a perishable name.
It is.
Because it's not really a permanent name.
But there's charm to that too, like to grabbing the moment and making your team name.
Yes. So on sheet. Let's see.
So in the game that we are actually commentating on,
Or not, as the case may
yes,
be.
in the game that we're supposed to be commentating on, House Hunters are still up 3-1. No Crack in the Hack managed to take one with the hammer in that last end. And they are now setting up just one rock in play, one rock that I'm going to say it was thrown through, or it was hit. I could rewind and find out, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. I think we've actually had a blank end on sheet 4.
That's exciting.
An astute play by the juniors to play for that.
Strategic.
Certainly not going to have a blank end on sheet 1. There's about
Oh,
7
goodness.
or 8 rocks in the house.
Pretty good. So for those of you wondering why we're curling at 11 o'clock p.m., good question. It's because we have a lot of curling to cram into just 2.5 days. It's a matter of, let's see, I can do the math. How many games per pool? So each team plays 3 games. So you only get to count them half the time.
I believe there's 40.
Pool games.
Spoiler alert.
Yes, and then everybody plays one.
Yeah, so there's
quarter.
quarterfinals. Yeah, so there's 4 events, and each event is an 8-4-2. I don't think there's consolations.
There is
Or maybe.
a third place in the A bracket, I
15. So,
believe.
okay, so there's 15. So 48 pool games and another 60 or so elimination games. So over 100 games.
We play more than they play in the World Cup.
So Andy, over here on our feature game, for 2 have the. Oh, they scored
Yeah.
1. You said in the second.
That's a totally different game. We're watching this
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry. Right, House Hunters.
So No Crack in the Hack scored 1.
Scored 1. Okay, so now they've got 3 rocks. I'm sorry, that's 2 yellows and 1 blue.
Yeah, so we've got yellow up top, yellow on the T line, and blue set up in between. And it looks like blue to shoot.
Yeah. So they're going to hit this and try to roll behind their guard?
I think that's the plan.
Hitting it pretty hard. Not much ice there.
No. So it's coming down the ice now at what I would call control up. I would sweep. But it flashed. So not enough weight for ice. I'm going to say no. I think that was supposed to be normal up. Came in at like board.
Yeah.
Good call. It's tough to nail that weight at times.
Yellow wasted no time in throwing their next rock.
Good on them. They want to get through 8 ends. Oh. Alright, wait a minute. What is going on with the scoring here? Used. No, I think I'm not confused. I think Bonspiel is confused. Because Bonspiel has 3 ends played, which is not correct. We are definitely in the third.
Yeah. Shooting towards the scoreboard would be an odd end.
It would. Going away, as they say. So, for those of you watching Bonspieler while you're watching this, That score is incorrect. It is in fact 3-1, not 6-1.
All right. So meanwhile, blue has now missed the yellow rock on the other side of it.
So what is going on in our featured game here? We've got going. No, much wait for that. That must be a takeout. Oh, of course. Yellow's up, so they're taking out the nice shot.
Yep.
Yellow now sitting. They got closer on Bonspiel.
They still do have a little bit of a repeat problem.
Little bit of a technical difficulty, but it's really good. Thank you to Sonoma Cider for providing cider for this evening's festivities. I'm currently having the Wimble, which is a rhubarb ghost, would you say?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, a rhubarb ghost Sonoma Cider.
Wimble sounds like the name of a curling shot.
It does. It's pretty damn good. I recommend it. Thank you, Sonoma Cider, for sponsoring our Bonspiel. The rare alcoholic beverage that has calories.
Yeah.
Alright, so blue just came down and took out the one that was sitting out at the edge of the 8-foot. So yellow now sitting 2. Yellow being no crack in the hack, who is down 2 without. Sheet 1. Some people are struggling to stay awake. Sheet 2 has very fancy. They are currently in your frame off on the right, having very fancy hats. 3, we've got a draw coming in. Looks like it's going to be a high guard if it makes it. Which it does not. So it did not make it across that thin blue line there, which is called the hog line. Which every rock must get across to legally be in play, so it is removed from play. Because we have to have rules in sport. It's anarchy if we don't.
Yeah, the problem is decisions have to be made. If there's no rules, then it can appear that the decisions are favoring one side or the other.
That's right. The line between sport and chaos is as wide as the hog line. Alright, so that comes in from blue and is a nice little hit and roll, actually. So they tapped back the yellow and rolled partially behind cover. Might still be able to chip that out, which is probably what they're going to try to do. But nice shot. Curling is a sport with an odd amount of throwing of equipment. Grippers and gloves and
sort of generally some gentle flips or tosses.
Would you consider yourself a good skater while curling?
Compared to people who have been curling, no. But compared to how I ever thought, nice.
Excellent.
Surprisingly good.
I think I actually might enjoy skating on my sliders.
I really do like it, actually. I've never skated on ice skates or roller skates.
Yeah.
I'm not really a skier. But yeah, once you, it's actually kind of fun to skate.
No, there's a charm to it.
There really is, actually.
So, yet another reason to come out and try curling. Alright, so we have, looks like a little tap coming in here from Team Yellow. They just opened it up. Makes sense. It's a little heavier than they planned, I suspect. I think that was supposed to be a split, but it was a good shot either way. So It's interesting. Yellow is threatening here without the hammer. Blue is kind of hanging out in the middle, trying to hold on to that territory.
Yeah.
But
I think that was the first
skip rock.
non-hammer skip rock. Yeah.
It's a little.
Curious.
A little surprising for Yellow to. I don't know what they're trying to do.
Split that open.
Yeah, I mean, without the hammer, I would think they would have sort of wanted those rocks hanging around in the middle, up top.
If it was the call, it was an aggressive call. For sure. And I'm thankful for that I have 7 a.m. draw in this Bonspiel. It's a god awful time to draw. Feels good. Sonoma, home of the Sonoma Stompers.
Which sport is that?
That is
Other than the Baltimore Stomper.
That sounds bad. What's that?
It's from it's a sociopathic criminal from John Waters' movie.
Yeah, you don't want that. All right, so blue just flashed there, which was definitely not the plan. Right shot call. Just tough ice. They hadn't been out there yet. What's the hazard of like splitting out like that? And that's why I kind of like that for Yellow, is that it pushed an important rock to a place they hadn't been yet.
Yeah. It was interesting that Blue did take out a wide yellow rock, leaving the two in the middle. But it took him 3 tries to do it.
Right.
Alright, so we've got some weight being thrown here. Yellow has cleared the blue rock out.
So we have the hammer coming up. Is that right?
So,
All right. So they basically just have to draw to the button here. They have it's a big button. In this particular instance, it's a large button.
a macro button.
All right, they have to draw to the 8 foot. Let's say that. But for style points, they would like to park it on the button. More importantly, they just
the
want
psychological aspect of curling.
Yes, they definitely would like to count, and they're a little late. I'm a little frightened for them. They're pushing hard here. Don't want to sweep it too far. Oh, very nice. 1 blue. Good sweep. Good shot.
And yellow carefully crafting a force.
Everyone did their job there, we can say. Oh, after that end, we are at 4-1, I do believe. House Hunters leading, no crack in the hack. So, down 3 with, not the end of the world. This is very competitive still.
Yep.
Have to kind of fight their way back here. Ice looks like it's playing a little tiny bit slower to me compared to this afternoon. The ice was super, super fast at noon. A little more calm in the evening. And now I think it's kind of come back down a little bit just because there's fewer people in here.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. So, I mean, only 4 sheets in play, but also probably fewer spectators.
Fewer
so the room in
spectators,
general is just
less
a little
doors
bit,
opening and closing.
a little bit colder.
A little bit colder, and presumably a little bit frosty.
Yeah. I know in my first match this morning, we were on the ice for a full end after the other 2 sheets in play had left.
And it just dies, right?
And
And
yeah,
it
the
just
condition is very different. Yeah.
Alright, so we've got the first blue rock coming into play here. And it is in the house, so it is eligible to be hit. Unlike if it were sitting up above the house, in which case it would be what is called a free guard, a rock that is until the 5th rock of the end.
Looking here on sheet 4, where the is that the last rock? Oh no, there's still.
Looks like
more
we've
to
still
come.
got a skipped rock to go.
Yeah, there were a whole bunch of rocks in the house, and yellow. The ice mafia, after blanking the second end, were drawing in against their opponents. It's sort of hard to tell from our angle here. Like it looks like he was just barely successful.
That looks like a nice shot. Sitting right at the top of the floor on sheet 4.
But there's still 1 rock for each stick to go.
Yeah. Updating you on other games out here, it looks like on sheet 1, Snow Problem is up 4-2. Throwing Shade is up 6-2. And on sheet 4, we had 1 in the first for Tricoastal Rocks and then a blank in the second. Playing away in the third still right now. In our featured game, we have a draw coming up here. It's 11-11. Make a wish. The draw was a tiny bit heavy. Sheet 3 is speeding up now. They've swept it both ways, so picking up a little bit of pace. Still sitting 1 blue. Nope. I lied. Jim was blocking something. Sitting 1 yellow with a blue to the 12.
So down 3 width in the 4th. What's your overall strategy for this end?
We're getting heckled by sheet 1. Sheet 1 throwing shade towards the commentary booth, but it's okay. Okay, the question was, what's my overall strategy? What am I? I'm down...
You're down 3, you've got the hammer, it's the 4th end, it's about time to start making some kind of a move, I would think.
So you need guards, which is unfortunate. So their problem right now is that their first rocks were a little bit heavy, so they've got nothing to draw behind. At this point, you almost just kind of want to clear out this end, play it as clean as you can, and try again with some guards set up in the next end. But 2 center guards draw around behind. On this ice, it's very swingy, so it's there. You just kind of want to stagger. Lead is tough. Lead is so super important, and it is not viewed that way by a lot of beginners who see lead as like where you get stuck because you're new and you don't know what you're doing.
You to pour the beer and carry the rocks out?
They do want that, but those are damn important rocks, those first 2.
Yeah.
Continue to be impressed by my Sonoma Cider Rhubarb Ghost, the Wimble. Sonoma Cider, get yours today.
It's organic as well, isn't it?
Does it say that? Oh, it does. Certified organic. Look at that.
Yeah.
Gluten-free, which makes sense. How many milliliters in 12 fluid ounces?
355?
Very good. Very good.
Put some cans in my day.
All right, what's happening in curling? They just hog a rock? No. We've got a yellow rock coming down here. It's going to make it across the dubious mascot. be a nice high guard. I have no idea if that was the plan. I'm going to guess no because they had three sweepers. But it is guarding the
Yeah, it could be they.
intern there. No, the outturn. The outturn. No, the intern. Guarding the intern. Take out.
It could very well be that they wanted it to be a guard, but maybe not quite so high.
Quite so high, but it's doing its job there, actually. So yellow's sitting two. Blue flanking up there. I think that's ice for the tap. Man, that is ice for the straight draw, apparently. So blue looks like they're just trying to draw in, get behind that cover. Just cheating by looking into the feet. See, feature. So that is now shot, I do believe.
Hard to tell, but it looks like it could be.
Yeah, tough to tell. It looks like they're playing it as if it's shot, though. They're trying to take that out. What are they trying to do here? Yellow coming out, throwing quite a bit of weight. Looks like.
Lots of weight.
Actually, not totally sure what the call is. Put the sweeper on it. Coming down into the house, and ooh, that was close. Actually, cleared the guard.
Yeah.
Left the shooter. Actually, nice shot. So that opened it up a little bit. Left the shooter. Now yellow is.
But does it
threatening
make
for
it
a big
easier?
end.
Does it make it easier for blue to take out their rock that's just above the forfeit there because you can double it?
Because I mean, you're talking about coming in like this.
Yeah.
It's there, but they haven't played over there the whole game. This is one of those things where like it's pretty predictable, guys, here because the ice is good. But still, if I were their skip, I would have thrown a couple draws over there just to see what it does. They've opted to draw. A little tiny bit too much. It's too bad. It was a good idea, good rock, just a little tiny bit too much. So, for those of you watching at home, the difference between a rock that stops on the tee line, which would have been basically perfect there, I think they wanted maybe a little bit above, and a rock that goes all the way through is a couple of tenths of a second being now, and back line to hog line as the rock is being. So it's incredibly thin margins on some of these things. And now, because blue was not able to split the house or guard, they're in a little bit of trouble. So yellow was able to come down, take that out, and now they're sitting three. I feel like Bonspiel is fixed. So this is actually true. Yellow's sitting three with. Blue needs to park something in here. So now it's time to give up on this end and just try to free something in here. Could tap and roll.
Hitting with that weight.
Yes, it does. Big weight coming down, and it is going to tap, tap. Nice double. Nice shot. Really nice shot.
So we talked a little about yellow's strategy, which maybe was a little more straightforward. What's blue thinking about here?
Blue, who is up.
They're up three.
Blue wants to force here, right? So blue is actually pretty happy with how this has developed now. It was a mess before.
Yeah, I think that shot was a really big strategic development for them.
Yeah, blue is perfectly happy to leave that one there as long as they can keep hunting down the rest. The question is, how do you keep them from taking two? And probably they're going to want to come down and like corner to that pretty soon. So another guard draws, blocks the draw path a little bit, makes the takeout basically impossible, but they're kind of conceding just taking one. Works out for everybody, maybe, but
You ever see a situation where it seems like both teams are playing for the same objective?
yeah, it does happen. Though I think it has to basically mean that somebody's wrong.
Certainly not at the beginning of the end. They certainly have
Very different plans
different
there.
objectives. Yeah, but
There are
I think
definitely times.
Sometimes you get yourself into a situation where the sort of the best reasonable objective for each team is
Happens a lot with
pretty consistent.
happens a lot with giving up a steal of one, where like there are flanking possibilities where you could end up giving up a bunch, and so you just say, "All right, I'll let it happen." So we've got the Blue Rock coming in here, just a draw, trying to get back behind that cover. Spurs are a little tiny bit worried about the weight. Actually, not curling. I don't know what happened there. That was a made shot, but it just didn't really curl in. I made one of my best line calls ever in the last draw. I'm pretty proud. Shooting is a hit and miss. The like line calls is just geometry, like you're right or you're wrong.
It's non-linear geometry.
I mean, all of it is like the only weird thing about the geometry of curling is the stupid drag effect. It's just more confusing than it needs to be. For those of you watching at home, Google drag effect, because I'm not going to be able to explain it without diagrams. On our featured game on sheet 3, we've got another yellow draw coming in. Just trying to kind of come right down to that blue, which it appears they did. That's more or less a corner freeze, which is more or less perfect. My color commentator just fled the booth. It is 11:23. Know what time it is?
Time for you to get a watch?
It's Fibonacci o'clock.
It is indeed.
It's one of my favorite times of day. So we've got a blue draw coming in here. They're just trying to follow the yellow rock right down, corner up to it. So at this point, basically on our sheet, they're playing for one. If they can get right to it, I'll take that. So now they might actually be sitting 2. So that was an interesting shot because now they're sitting 2, I think. But they might give up 2 because the double's there. Could even give up 3. So they could give up 3 because the double's there.
Right.
Whereas if they had like perfectly cornered to that, they would have had no shot at 2. They might have scored 1, but there was no way they were going to give up more than 1. So, touchy shot. The call was actually the freeze, I think.
I'm missing just a couple inches. So your favorite team here, Andy, has their hammer rock. I think their opponents are sitting two, taking them out, but lost. Couldn't really tell going and taking a look. I guess we'll see the results soon enough. There may be a call for an official or ruling soon.
They may have to do science on sheet 1.
Yeah.
You have an apparatus and you have to measure. It counts as science.
Yeah, the engineering. So they're bringing it out.
They're not building anything.
Yeah.
I think it's gaining new knowledge. It's research.
Or are they using the scientific method?
Well, they measure it 3 times there. I learned that in elementary school. On our featured game, this is going to be an important shot, actually.
Yeah, this is the last rock, is it?
Yeah, this is the big hammer, trying for the double, which would be for 3. Looks like it might be a tiny bit outside. It's going to chip that, and I believe leave 1 blue. Or maybe 2. I don't know.
Hard to tell from
Hard to tell.
the angle that we all have, everyone watching, including ourselves. They may need to.
Okay.
They need to get that apparatus over there. Oh, they're taking them away.
Nope, they made a decision. Good on them. But I have no idea what it was.
Hopefully they'll promptly update the scoreboard.
Hopefully. Science happening on sheet 1. David Steele is an engineer. He's qualified to operate that apparatus.
Yeah, there's I would have to say an awful lot of high percentage of engineers and other
Engineering
technical
talent
people
in this league.
This Bonspiel and these clubs.
Lorraine is promptly updating the score on sheet 1, and it is going to be. You can't see because Amanda's in the way.
We do know which team scored by which team's shooting first, and that would be the cautionary tale.
It would. Appears that they took 2.
So we're all tied up.
So we are all tied up on sheet 1. Good for them.
All right. Meanwhile, Blue scoring their first rock in our feature match.
I
Thing for the house.
was gonna say maybe we're underestimating House Hunters as a name. Because
Yeah.
like I don't watch a lot of HGTV, but I know that show is huge right now. Like, oh,
So actually, there's a member of our club who was on it not too long ago.
really? I did not know that. There is David Steele, who just accomplished science on sheet 1. Congratulations. Did you measure 3 times to follow the scientific method? He's telling me he only measured once.
Can you imagine what that looked like if you're watching at home?
I don't know.
I think
Getting some hate from sheet 1.
yeah, a lot of shade being thrown, not from the sheet where throwing shade is
Indeed.
participating.
I don't know what I ever did to Cautionary Tale.
I don't know. If only they knew that you had declared them your favorite team.
I know, like I'm pulling for them here.
So Jenny Lynn, who used to curl in Oakland and occasionally in San Jose and did some Bonspiels. She, a few months ago, was on House Hunters.
Jenny was on House Hunters?
She was indeed.
I did not know that.
Wait, that's the one where you go out and look at 3 houses?
Yeah.
Yeah. She and her husband driving around in their electric smart car.
Awesome. All right, what is happening in curling? We've got 2 guards. We have a high blue center guard, and it kind of floated off the center, and a yellow tight corner guard. Lots of territory to draw in behind there. So now I'll ask you. You are up 3 without.
Well, actually, what is the actual score? They haven't posted it. So we know actually that the House Hunters scored
Oh, you're right.
1 more.
So they scored 1 more. So you're up 4 without.
Without.
What's your plan?
So depends how it is, but obviously, like a force, you don't want to give them a big end. You certainly have no need to risk giving up a big end by trying hard to steal.
I believe David Steele just propositioned me, so nothing beats fun at the curling rink.
So what's the safest way to force?
Well, safest way to force, yes, is you throw your first three.
Yeah, I think it's a little early for that.
Yeah.
But that was my initial thought when you asked me. I think it's just a little early.
Yeah, at the average skill level of our Bonspiel, not to say nothing of any particular team, but at this particular event, I think you kind of want rocks in play as a general rule.
Yeah, I mean, in general, when you are ahead, you want to keep things pretty clean, which is really very much not what they're doing here.
No, no. Although none of this stuff is accumulating in the center. So this kind of happened in our game in the last draw, where it got a little swingier as the draw went on. And I think it has something to do with it kind of refrosting a bit. Because they go through and they nip, and they kind of clear everything out. And then as the game progresses, it frosts a little bit, which is actually the opposite of what we're used to.
Yeah.
Like, in typical league play, it would be getting less frosty as the game goes on. Yeah, so typically it gets faster, but here it's actually getting a little bit slower typically because
Is your mom watching again?
probably my sister's watching, I think.
Amanda says hi to your mom.
Okay. Amanda says hi to the family because Amanda's very nice, unlike some people.
I think Andy is sort of really wants to know why cautionary tale were assigned to sheet 1 and not sheet 5.
Not sheet 5, someplace far away. I'm apparently a polarizing figure with cautionary tale.
Alright, so rock coming in here for the House Hunters. And they're just trying to draw right into the middle, I think. And say one way to force is to own rock somewhere in the house where it can't be removed, knowing that while the team with the hammer can always outdraw you in the end, they can't get a lot of rocks out counting you.
I would say that. Cut down the scoring area relatively early.
So would you say that this blue rock has done that?
I would. It seems to be pretty well buried. Yeah, they have a... This configuration is odd, but there's no raises there. Everything is lined up away from the house. A little tiny bit light from yellow there. So this is one of those super, super frustrating ends if you're yellow here, because you have the better position, like in every way, except for that blue one sitting there.
So looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, on sheet 1, cautionary tale did in fact get only 1 in the third, so they're down 4-3. Throwing shade, or throwing quite a bit of shade on sheet 2.
Oh dear.
So
Drinking for 2 has been playing well today too.
Had been. Could be that the late start time is a little rougher on them than some of the others. And on sheet 4, JV juniors are hanging in there after blanking an end and taking 1 in the third. They forced Tri-Coastal Rocks to only 1 in the fourth, so they're down 2-1.
Down 1 with
in the fifth with the hammer.
Take that. I'm out of cider, which is too bad. That's Sonoma cider. I'll get it. You want anything?
Sure, thanks. yellow here. A little bit of trouble with the massive guards out in front. House Hunters playing the situation of the end as it has developed, going ahead and contributing, or trying to contribute even more to the sort of quagmire of rocks out front. They've succeeded in probably a little less access. Alright, so no crack in the hatch. They've had enough of this jam of rocks up from top. They're going to throw some weight at this and see if they can open up a little bit and get themselves some more access to the house.
What I miss?
And they've done so. So against the battle for access to the house.
Is it still happening?
So as House Hunters put another rock out front to jam things up there. No crack in the hack, just went ahead and removed it.
Cheers. That's the Wimble from Sonoma Cider. Our one credited sponsor for this broadcast.
Alright, so is it
Oh dear. Alright, so what do we got going on here?
so it's
Yellow to shoot or blue to shoot?
It's blue. So Jonathan Ochoa for the first of his rocks for the House Hunters.
This is a big end for yellow because, like, if they can keep it tight here, then I like their chances in the second half of the game. This could blow up a little bit. It's one of those ends that just kind of looks like three, like a steal of three in the making.
So is this a draw or is it another guard?
This is a guard trying to just plug up that draw path.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to replace the one that was just taken out on the last yellow rock.
This is the fifth end, right? So what is the score actually?
It is, I believe that it's 4-12.
Oh, they're going to go fix it as I speak, which I appreciate.
It's 5. Really find out because they. So it is.
Five to
It's
one.
5 to 1.
Hunters. So House Hunters are in 4 with, or without. Sorry. 4 without.
So they played this draw, or this guard, a little closer to the center than the previous one.
That was nothing.
So a very quick shot selection here by Jim Munoz. No crack in the half.
So what would you do here? If you're blue. Or sorry, if you're yellow?
I'm yellow. I would be getting ready to walk with the rock and sweep it.
Spoken like a true front-end player.
I mean, I assume he's going to try to get something in there that's under some cover and out counting the blue rock in the back.
I mean, it just sucks because if he could tap that stupid rock,
Yeah.
he has a play for 4. But
Well, maybe he can tap it just a little bit.
I don't know. If so, that's not the ice for it. So this is a draw.
Yeah.
Steve once again.
So the question is,
shooting
will it
looking
get?
to the future.
The question really is how much can it get under cover? And in fact, the blue guard wound up helping yellow.
It did. So that was a very nice draw, more or less. So it's about might actually be full 4 foot.
But it does also take away his ability to come in and tap out that blue rock in the back.
Yeah, so they've given up on that. Like they've given up on their big end, that's the challenge of this, is that sure they can take one with here, they can accept the force that they've been handed,
Yeah.
but that's not going to help them. Like they need to come back a little bit.
So he certainly can draw another one in here and outcount the blue in the back. What does blue do to prevent that and go ahead and get that force?
Blue just guards now. Like blue just needs to put something like outside the house and high. If they're fancy, they freeze to it. Like the Olympic call is to corner freeze, but
yeah, like that. And you would do that by essentially just following in the shot that was just made, but with just a sliver less weight.
A sliver less weight or a sliver more ice.
Maybe a bit less sweeping.
And it may also be that the hack weight takeout to chip it out is there.
Well, it doesn't look like they're throwing hack weight.
I think they're content with the force, as I would be too. I mean,
yeah.
Give them the line.
Again, what can you do with low risk?
So they're coming in. Looks like they're just trying to guard the draw path. Which, to be fair, they've only sort of done. It's the right call. It cut down. So now there's absolutely no risk of giving up more than 2. But yellow just has to touch 4.
To get 2, yeah. Sort of got onto the wrong corner of it. Maybe they threw a little less weight than they had hoped for.
But again, that can happen swinging dice. Like, this is just really.
As you pointed out, it would actually be slowing down.
Which is odd, but seems to be true. Which I think you have to say is a sign of good ice. Like, the ice has been really nice.
It really has been. The Bonspiel, I mean, the ice makers done a spectacular job, but also the Bonspiel organizing team, ice team, have been working on it for a good week and a half, coming out here several nights.
At midnight, after the hockey players get off the ice, to flood the ice. Flooding the ice, if you've never hose out onto the ice and just spray water. Yellow's Rock coming in here. Looks pretty good to me. We were kind of blocked off from seeing it, but I think it was enough.
I think they've got 2.
Important if so. Sure about 1. Oh, looks like we're sure about whatever it was. We will see when they rack the score. You have to say this ice is some of the better ice that I've ever played.
I think it really is certainly the best ice I've played on. I've played a lot less than.
I mean, I've played on dedicated ice and I've played at Arena Nationals. This ice is as good as Arena Nationals.
Could ever see Arena Nationals out here?
Yeah. In fact, does that not happen? Arena Nationals was started by the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, but I don't know if we've ever actually hosted it.
I think just the number of days you have, it's just hard to get that much ice time here.
It is a long one.
I've heard that some arena clubs, though, can only curl once a week.
Sure. We can only curl once a week.
Yeah. With the traffic here, as the economy is heated back up, that's a lot of us.
It's fortunate to be able to do 2 Fremont and San Jose, but it's a challenge.
Once again, giving another shout out to the new BART station near Fremont, which makes the Fremont Summer League a lot more accessible to curlers who live in San Francisco, Oakland, points north and east.
Indeed. I've definitely looked at like, okay, I could drive to Millbrae and then take. All right, so it appears that was 2 yellow, in fact. So it is now 5-3 in our featured game. So blue 2 with. Despite what Bonspieler might tell you. We've got lead rocks coming into play here right now. Lead rocks, again, super important, but not that interesting, typically.
Yeah, it's one of the great frustrations of curling coverage in the United States. A lot of times they don't even show them, even though they can be really, really, really important. You see skips who are constantly having to make really difficult shots, have low shooting percentages, and a lot of times that's really because there were issues with the lead rocks.
Yeah. I told this anecdote a couple of draws ago, but it's true nonetheless, that the first time I came out to curl in league in San Jose, I was assigned to a team and told I was throwing lead rocks, and I realized that I had never in my life seen lead rocks happen. Because I watch curling on TV in the United States, and they never ever show the lead rocks. So I was like, I think I know what leads are supposed to do. Like, rocks are supposed to sit high, not in the house. So, blue coming down here. Looks like they're going to tap, which is legal. They hit a free guard, but they did not remove the free guard from play. So that is a legal play.
Alright, so in sheet 2, as we can see, drinking for 2 gotten onto the scoreboard. Still have a pretty difficult challenge as the draw winds down.
What happened on sheet 1? Oh, hey, good for them. Cautionary tale stole.
Cautionary tale stole one, so that one's all tied up here.
4-4. That's exciting.
Yes, that is a good match. Over on sheet 4, we haven't yet finished the 5th end.
Sheet 4 playing at a glacial pace. Sort of a curling jig.
I wonder if the kids figure that later it gets, the more advantage they'll have. Maybe. Playing a little bit of a four-corner offense out there. Alright, so here in our feature match, we've got rocks moving.
Looks like we had a little takeout in the house, just trying to tidy things up a little bit. So, again, in our game here, we've got blue up to with. Up to with, what's your kind of general strategy? What? I'm not asking you, young man.
Do you remember
when the game started? I don't. I'm sorry.
It was what time it actually started or was scheduled?
It was scheduled for 10.
No, the actual
It was like 25-ish.
You wondering when the bell's going to ring?
Make sure that the bell is rung an hour and 38 minutes after that time.
Sure, we will see if we can approach consensus on that.
Just do it.
1:38.
An hour 38 after decision.
So up to with, I'm going to want to hit anything we hit. Just keep everything completely empty and clean.
So I mean, it would be perfect if you could blank, right?
That would be spectacular.
And so that is why the free guard rule was put into place, was because teams got to the point where they could just always blank if they got ahead in the game with. And so they put in the free guard rule so that you're not allowed to remove the first 4 rocks from play if they sit up in the free guard zone. Strategy.
Yeah. So what you could do is use your first rock to raise their guard into the house, and your second one to take it out.
Which is more or less what they did, actually. They kind of did that perfectly. Now they just are accumulating a little bit of clutter. I think I like this. This is really growing on me. Sonoma Cider, the Wimble, Rhubarb Ghost.
So I don't think you're going to be able to get it because it's a limited run, and I think Andy may just go buy it all
I'm
out.
just going to go get all of the Sonoma Cider, the Wimble. It's pretty big.
Your challenge is to curling shot you can do. All right, interfere catch.
So we've got a little tap action.
Yeah, let's tap this one up so that they've got a scoring rock undercover.
Pretty good. Hold on.
Yeah.
Or else tap that right to the button. A little bit behind. My phone just died, so I'm no longer connected to the world.
So for those of you out there watching live and listening live, if you're trying to contact Andy, not going to work.
To be fair, that's literally true. My sister is watching right now and was texting me about it. If any members of my immediate family are here, Amanda Bacchus says hello from Sheet 1, apparently.
I can vouch for that.
Yes, that literally happened.
That was not just apparently. That's real. Times when there are perceptions and reality, in this case, they match.
One and the same.
So the glacial pace is continuing on sheet 4.
That it is. Goodness.
Mark and Jimmy from the Ice Mafia are lucky that the FBI don't have a playing time or thinking time clock trained on them.
Indeed. So I have a question for you, Steve. Is curling your favorite broom-based sport?
Favorite broom-based sport? Yeah, I say that I'm not one of the two sport athletes like our friend Cameron Kim. Yeah.
So my theory is that curling is the third most popular broom-based sport in the United States, behind Quidditch and broomball.
Broomball, yeah. And can you come up with a fourth?
Oh.
Because then we could propose this as an only connect question.
Right. I'll work on that.
All right. If home, any of you listening have an idea of a fourth sport that involves a broom, I'd tell you to send it to Andy, but his phone's dead.
Send it to Steve or tweet us at SFBACC, which may or may not be true. I haven't looked and seen if that's our handle, but I've said that 3 or 4 times today, so I'm going to hope that's true. Alright, so, in our featured game, we've got a lot of clutter right now, as a matter of fact. And it looks like they're just going to start trying to clear things. Alright, so I am going to go ask around and see if anybody knows when this was started.
Alright, that's a good idea. So for those of you not familiar, is going to play the number of ends. Might play up to 8, but at a set time after the beginning, there's going to be a signal that goes out that they can finish their current end and play one more. Of course, at high levels we have, as we talked about, thinking time, which is similar to chess clocks. We don't have the resources to time people. Sort of an event. Given that sometimes we start a little after schedule, we don't know the exact correct time to send out the signal that they can finish the current end and play one more. Sheet 1 have approached us and asked us to make sure that we get squared away, since Sheet 1 have several members of the Bonspiel committee playing. Alright, so Sheet 4. I don't know how many they scored, but it looks like the Tri-Coastal Rocks were the scoring team, since they've thrown the first 6th hand. Sheet 1, where things are all tied up 4-4. We've got 7 rocks out front, guarding the house, and square root of 0 inside the house. And our feature match is looking actually like it's very close to potentially being all tied up. Two rocks to go for the house hunters and 1 for no crack in the hack. One scoring rock for crack in the hack or no crack in the hack. Reasonably well protected. So we'll see what Jonathan Ochoa can throw at this.
All right, I've discussed with the Bonspiel committee, and I think we've decided not to build this end, and not to build this game.
So everyone's going to play 8?
No one cares, it's midnight.
All right, so important rock here for the house hunters. Trying to crack one of their own in. And
pretty good. So was that their last rock?
No, that was their first skip rock. So they have the hammer, since no crack in the hack scored 2 in the 5th. So now we've got 1 left for each skip.
It looks like yellow's still shot.
Yeah, I think so.
We need a good name for the last rock from the non-hammer team.
You could call it the nail. I'll bet people have come up with a lot of names, and I'll bet none of them were any good, or else we'd have heard about them.
Right.
But it seems like there must have been thousands of names proposed.
Sure. Right. So again, if you're at home listening and you have a good name for that rock.
The penultimate rock of
yeah,
the
so
end,
I mean that's kind of what I was thinking. Like you could call it the pen.
So he puts the pen on the pin?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a certain charm to that.
And it gets hammered out by the hammer.
Exactly.
Alright, well here comes the pen.
Hashtag pen.
I have trouble navigating through this mess out. Just some things are a little bit.
There was no shot there. Like it's not like they missed that. There wasn't there.
Well, they did one thing, and I think they made it a little tougher for the house hunters to potentially use that blue that was there, and try to raise it up.
But otherwise, we're looking at a steal of 1 here, I do believe, which adds to the tension of our game. This is actually the best game we've had on the featured sheet today, I think. There've been a lot of blowouts.
So you have to wonder whether anyone in Europe is watching us. It's to be a reasonable hour there, Saturday morning. The Middle East.
Scotland, probably.
Maybe India.
Prime time to be watching curling in Japan. So I welcome our Japanese viewers.
Sure, a few of our members went to Japan and curled some.
Yeah, we just had, Marshall was over.
Stephen Marshall, formerly of the Canadian Space Agency. What so many techies do and move to Silicon Valley.
Indeed. Okay, so we've got a little raise coming here.
We're moving rocks around.
Not going to work, though. Yeah. Not surprisingly.
Might as well try something.
Might as well try.
Alright, so that looks like 1 for yellow.
Yeah, 1 yellow. Good steal. And so now we are going to have blue up 1 with in the 7th.
They have gone ahead and posted the score on sheet 4. It's not on Bonspieler, but it is up on the brick and mortar and plastic scoreboard. It was 1 for Tri-Coastal Rocks, so they're now up 3-1.
Somebody did some.
Yeah, they replaced them with higher grade material. I know TC was really happy about that. All right, so nice empty sheet of ice here. No crack in the hack.
So on other sheets, it looks like we're still finishing up the fifth end on sheet 1.
Cautionary Tale has now put 1 rock into the house there. Oh, actually, each team's got 1 in, with still several guards out in front.
Sheet 2, we have Throwing Shade up big, 8-3. That Edie's team?
No, Edie's on drinking for 2.
Okay.
All right, so in our feature match, we've got a center guard here for no crack in the hack. Back to a very sort of normal, natural strategy for a team down 1 without the hammer. Setting up the center guard to try to move towards the steal.
Good game. So, did you find the rocks different today?
The ice was different, and I can't handle multiple variables. I wouldn't have been able to tell.
The rocks were reconditioned this week,
Yeah.
and I would call them, they're cutting quite a bit. So they're curling more than we're used to, and less lively.
Actually, there was a lot of movement on hits.
Okay, so you
sort of high.
So you were saying
medium weight
lively
hits.
rocks?
Yeah. I mean, they were moving a lot on hits on my sheets. Now I don't know. Again, I don't know how much is the ice and how much is rocks, but very different than what I was used to.
They were really cutting in the 2 sheets that I've been on. So again, you're right that it's very hard to tell the difference between the ice and the rocks, but like super swingy. Which is an interesting challenge for arena curlers because you have to aim towards the edges of the house, which we actually don't practice a lot.
Unless you're taking practice ice on sheet 1 in San Jose.
Indeed. And then you're throwing negative.
Except it's not really the edges of the sheets; it's more like the middle. All right, so this looks like rock not in play.
I think that's going to be through, and I think that was the point.
Yep.
Favorite shot to make? Realistically.
Me myself?
Yeah.
Well, hitting's fun. As a recreational curler, it's fun to slide fast, and it's fun to hear like lots of noise when the rocks hit each other.
Agreed. It's probably bad. Like, it'd be great if like 3 guards like set off fireworks or something.
And I mean, I some of the other sports that I appreciate, I like a lot of what people think is boring. But as someone who started curling at an age older than when most people have retired, I'm certainly not in it for the results.
Activities of Diane. She won.
Gotten her hit.
She did, and a little bit too much roll.
Still 3 rocks to go in that end.
Back in our featured game, we've got a draw coming in. I think that was just supposed to be a draw behind cover, and it is not going to stick around.
Behind is the operative word there.
Yeah. This is one of those, like, first to the pin is going to get a point sort of ends.
How much are nerves coming into play here? These teams, they know each other. They've played against each other a lot.
Yeah, we don't know if they have, like, a natural rivalry. We need, like, a Oakland guest to talk about the history between these two teams.
It looks like they're going to hit their guard here.
I've been starting to wear an activity tracker sort of a bobber during curling games, and it's hilarious to look at the heart rate monitor afterwards because here I'm sweeping much, but when I'm skipping, the heart rate monitor is just nerves. Right?
That's pretty funny.
So I can always pick out, like, when I had big shots at the end of ends.
For me, I guess the nerves come more from the interpersonal aspects of being on a team with my spouse.
That can happen.
I did notice today, though, it was interesting to work really hard sweeping 3 or 4 hits in a row at the end of an end and then immediately be called upon to throw a guard.
A 3-guard. So, blue with a very nice draw to the 4-foot there. Parked one right in there. Now yellow finally has something they have to actually deal with.
So it's interesting that the motion on the last yellow shot, which sort of rearranged the guards up there, actually created, even though more rocks in front, a little more access.
Yeah.
Sort of opened up that space there to the shooter's left, skipped right of center line.
But again, it's interesting because it's this turn that nobody's been throwing tonight.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of guessing out there. Unfortunately, blue just showed Jim the path, so he's able to kind of have some idea of what to do over there. But this is new territory, which means it's going to be a little bit slower and a little bit uncertain.
It looks like
that was supposed to be a takeout.
Flashed it.
Again, that's exactly the problem. They didn't know the ice was low,
Jim's gives his shooter a little encouragement. You know, could be the broom, could be the sweeping, could be the shooting.
Yeah, I mean, it was the right idea, and who knows? They just haven't been over. So. You're fancy with your working phone?
You know, I just replaced my phone. My previous one had a real battery life problem. I didn't know what to do about it until it just stopped working completely, so it was easy enough.
The successor to this had 18. So.
Do you fly much, Andy?
Enough that would be a problem.
Alright, so this rock is coming in here with very little weight. See if they can get it over the line to be in play.
It looks like it's going to
They actually just sort of gave up on it.
I don't blame them.
At this stage of the night.
So that gives Team Yellow here another shot at this takeout. So, they say, never give the same player the same shot twice in a row. You can avoid it. As the opposition, don't let somebody try something twice. So, let's see how it goes.
I always like it when I completely miss a shot and the skip comes up for the next shot and says, okay, same thing.
Same thing, but, better.
I like it better when they say, let's try it again.
Alright, so, coming down here. Again, this is a hack weight-ish sort of takeout. And it looks like it is going to flash again.
It's like same thing.
Same deal. So it just doesn't curl very much right there. And now they know that. But
So what was that weight? Was that just hack weight?
That was just hack. So the problem is at higher weights you can't get there.
Yeah.
So I'm probably that was a fine decision. Like there's nothing at all wrong with that call. If I were making the call, I would have gone a little heavier and just tried to chip it. Like he was trying to stick around. and I would have just said screw it and tried to chip it out. But like you want to keep that shoot. I understand.
So blue throwing a fair amount of weight here on this shot.
To be up.
It's maybe a deep one. I think it's going to stick around.
Sure.
Oh, I thought that was a bird flying by, but someone just flung a
Throwing
gripper
love.
down
Yeah, they're throwing
the.
grippers back and forth over there. So here's your skip training. Was that the right way or the wrong way? So they parked it back. Would you have swept more or less?
Well, I would have thought less, but certainly not more. Maybe the same or maybe less. I mean, I don't know if freezing to that is a factor because the other blue is out counting a rock that you would freeze to it.
I think this was. The challenge is you didn't want to leave it higher than the other blue. Because if you left it higher than the doubles there, and so you had to be past it.
Yeah, they're significantly past it though. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so
I'm not sure they could have kept it higher by
so
not sweet.
They would have 1.1 rocks past it.
Yeah.
Because then there's no double.
Okay.
They ended up like 4 rocks.
But I guess too deep is better than.
Well, yes, I mean,
Certainly don't want to be in front of it. I mean,
No.
a rock that can't be hit, the last thing you want to do is give them a little assist.
No, exactly. So now, based on where they are, what does yellow do? I know what I would do.
So can yellow, if yellow hits this and rolls in, they're still not going to be shot.
No, I think they are. So I think yellow can hit right across here and be shot.
And the hit and roll actually is probably a more important shot in arena crawling than it is in on real ice, where you could actually get around on both sides.
Right.
So you get to some inaccessible places that are in the arena inaccessible.
Right. So if I'm right, that's an argument that blue should have swept either 6 inches or another foot.
There you go. So even deeper to stop the hit and roll. It's almost like chess. So he's thrown a lot of weight at this. We'll see what he does.
Coming in. That is going to.
That does not roll.
Yeah, so very, very close to the right shot.
What? I can see better.
Sitting is the new smoking.
My family history of colon cancer. So I've done Andy a favor here. I think
Starting to antagonize sheet 1.
I'm not sure David Steele's going to be back.
Drawing some of the heat from sheet 1 for me. I appreciate that. All right, in our featured game, what is happening here? Is this the hammer? Oh, goodness. This is the hammer team's first skips rock.
Yeah, it's the pre-penultimate rock.
Right. The pre-pen. The tri-pen.
Where pre-pen's the pre-pin to the list of named rocks.
So they come down and they're just trying to tap a little tiny bit heavy though. It looks like yellow is still sitting 1. So now this is interesting because yellow has an opportunity to just guard that up
That's
and
what I would
tie
do.
it up. Right? I mean, still it's tough because you're conceding the fact that you're going to go into the last end tied without. But
So when's the last time Jin Minyo threw a guard in this game?
whew, I don't think we've seen it.
So he's pointing. He wants I don't know
guard.
if those of you who are watching carefully, he pointed right to where he wanted it to go with his finger. So he's skating down with no broom.
Which is wacky.
I skate with no broom. Actually, for a while, I was skating with, when I was using a stabilizer, as Jim does, I was skating with the stabilizer in my hand, and I've started now having a broom in my hand. I don't really know what to do with it. Yeah, you see some people using it for balance on the ice. Some people hold it out like they're on a high wire.
All right, so Jim's rock coming in here. Pretty good. Maybe a tiny bit heavier than he intended. through, and it's not quite curling as much as he thought it would. Really tapping. That was not the plan, but it could end up okay. So the problem here is that now blue has a hit 3, which definitely was not the plan.
Yeah, which would really not be okay. But
yeah, that would be bad. But it's thin, and maybe not. It's not as thin as I thought it was. So all blue has to do is tap that 3 feet, and they score 3. But those taps can be tricky. Surprisingly tricky.
sheet 4, not looking good for the Mafia. Again, we don't know how many they gave up in the 6th end, but Tri-Coastal Rocks shooting first, so they stole some number.
If we don't bell sheet 4, they may still be playing when the next draw happens.
So on sheet 1, bad news for Andy's favorite team, the Cautionary Tale. Snow Problem picked up 2 in the 5th.
Shade remains a significant favorite on sheet 2. I'll take that from him. Alright, so we are clearing on sheet 3. I didn't see what. It's just too bad because that was an important rock. Let's see what they score.
They score it right away.
They had a hit to score 3.
They did indeed.
And what happened?
So then they're up to 6 now. So it was the House Hunters. Oh, with
No, we don't know, dude. No, we don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at that.
Oh no, they made their hit for 3.
Yeah, they did indeed.
They did. So
they're up to 8
good
now.
Good for them. They're up 8 to 4.
Okay.
So they left. So
this was a very close game. It's now not as close.
No crack in the heck. Missed a guard there, and it's the easiest thing in the world to do. Like if you haven't grown a guard all night and you're not totally sure how much your rocks are curling, it's super easy to leave that open. That's all that happens.
So interesting decision here. So this is the 8th end. House Hunters up by 4.
Yes.
I'm shocked that they didn't just chuck this one through.
They did put it in. But
Okay.
Yeah. The book says you throw through it.
One way to learn more about curling as a spectator, the strategy and the tactics, is to watch the Canadian coverage, which is becoming more available now as the world moves to internet-based TV. Huge number of rocks out in front of the house on sheet 2. Looks like there's 10 rocks in play, but outside of the house, in front of the house, on sheet 2.
So there was something I couldn't figure out about this cider, and the can explains it. It is a dash of sea salt. Like, that's what it is. It's a little bit salty.
So yeah, it's interesting. I was discussing earlier that all the ingredients are listed as organic except for the sea salt. Sea salt is very much inorganic, I think you would say.
By definition. Yeah, I couldn't quite place what was weird about this, and that's what it is. It tastes like salted caramel.
I think if you're going to put a vegetable in it, you need some salt.
Makes sense to me. Pretty damn good. Got some handshakes happening on sheet 2.
And hugs. It's a great thing about curling or community.
Harry Ivy gave a rousing speech today at the opening ceremony that I believe is on our YouTube channel. So if you missed the rousing speech,
Like honestly, if you have only a certain amount of time to spend, you might switch off us and go watch
Go
that.
watch Barry's rousing speech. Killy.
As more people leave the ice, leave the arena.
Which is weird because it's only 12:20 on a Friday night. I don't know why.
I think that's why they're leaving. I think this is the time they normally head out.
So we still have action on sheets 1, 3, and 4. In our featured game, we've got something I don't quite understand happening.
Well, you remember we throw through, and if you
I do, but
pull throw through, you might go ahead and just remove your own rocks.
try to peel your own rocks in the house, which makes a certain sense, I suppose. But now yellow is sitting 1, I think. And they need 4. Yeah, all right. I guess I buy that. Why not? Yeah.
Still haven't put the score on the scoreboard on sheet 4, so we don't know how many Tri-Coastal Rocks scored, but certainly Ice Mafia running into a significant challenge. Sheet 2 has hugged and shaken, throwing shade the victors there. Sheet 1, Snow Problem has a couple of counting rocks with guards out front, and a 2-rock lead against Cautionary Tale.
Not loving Cautionary Tale's chances right now. So we were debating during the afternoon draws what an appropriate bonus might be for the Bonspiel committee's team. Like, we thought maybe they could start the game with a 2-point advantage and then go from there.
A lot of work.
San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, a very volunteer-driven organization, it must be said.
Geography of the
Presents certain challenges.
does.
That's just the geology.
Well, it hasn't so far, but
Oh, any day now.
probabilistically it certainly could.
Wouldn't that be just perfect if we built dedicated ice and then it got wiped out by an earthquake?
Alright, so what's the shot here for yellow?
Well, they were just trying to.
Looking off their own guard.
Yeah, rip off the guard.
Yeah. Would you try to hit and roll there?
It is now.
Oh, I do see that they have the. Yeah, okay. Well, their own rock there might actually
They've
be a
got
problem as
some
well.
challenges. So right now they have 2 in the house with 3, 4 to throw. They need to find a bunch of these. Sheet 1 is not looking perfect for our friends.
Alright, House Hunters. Hunters cleaning things up. Looks like they left that yellow rock in play.
I'm saying there's a chance.
May still be. Alright, so now he's looking at the angle he needs to hit this blue rock out at to not jam on the yellow behind it. So hit it through, split the 2 yellows, and then that might let him roll his shooter in as well.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Coming in at control, I'm going to say. I'm looking into the future, but
That's another way to get it out.
It's going to work. So, they are still alive, actually.
So I was right
Matter
that
of
he was
fact,
putting it between 2 yellows. It was just the high center guard and the fighter in the back that were the 2 he put it through.
would have liked to have kept the shooter, but
are alive.
Still alive, for sure.
Alright. And House Hunters throwing a lot of weight in.
Really just trying to clean up some business here. And it looks like
they're going to succeed.
So they cleared one out and rolled the button.
Yeah, that's
which was not necessarily the plan, but is lovely.
So yeah, they'll take that for sure.
So that's going to make this awfully challenging for No Crack in the Neck.
So if you're Abacus out at home, they're down 4. They've got 2 rocks in the house. They've got 3 rocks left to throw.
The trick is they also need to outcount that one, which is currently sitting on the pen.
Certain definitions of outcount.
They ain't going to outcount it where it is right now, I'm sure of that. So because that is on the pin and buried, they're now having to think about kind of wacky runbacks.
Look for a heavy draw. They're moving to hack, so they're going to try to hit this with hack weight, which they should still be able to get around those guards. Take the blue out, keep their shooter around.
Important shot.
They call the sweepers on almost immediately.
I'm calling that quite a bit lighter than heck. And then is literally going to hug. Lucky, I'm guessing that
I wonder
hit.
if it might have picked something.
Yeah, that probably hit a patch or picked on something.
Yeah.
We hear from the ice that it must have picked. I would tend to agree. Lucky.
Still haven't updated the scoreboard on sheet 4. I wonder if they put like 6 in there or something.
Yeah. Out there and ask him. So they say often that curling is chess on ice. To make an analogous chess set, where the chess pieces just don't always go where you ask them to. There's just a little random noise in moving your chess pieces. There'd be a certain charm to that. Alright, so blue coming in here trying to tap out some yellow to kind of seal the deal. They do, and that
looks like math.
Gonna do it.
We've got handshakes now,
math.
So it looks like the House Hunters have prevailed.
Congratulations to them. It's a good game, though. I mean, that was
a good
competitive
game,
right up until the 7th. Like, it got a little out of hand right there, but it was a good game throughout.
Yep.
So good for them. We still have action on sheets 1, 3, and 4.
Sheet 1 really only have their 6 there.
They started late because the previous draw had draws to the button that didn't go well. I don't know if you saw that, but it took a few tries before somebody hit paint. So,
yeah, I've heard the rules are different in Canada as the U.S. on that.
Is that so?
Apparently in Canada, rocks in play.
Get measured. Interesting.
Here comes the hammer rock here for cautionary tale.
Important rock. We end up if they can't do something. Green looks like they're sitting free. Well, anyway, our featured sheet is done here, so we're going to say goodnight.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, we're going to roll credits for a minute. There's a thing we do. Shout out to Sonoma Cider. See? Bonspiel committee, many of whom are currently playing on sheet 1.
I thought you were just making that up.
The ice crew, killing it. Really good ice. Good job, guys. Producer engineers Tony Del Porto and Jim All. I'm not plugging Sonoma Cider for no reason. I know what my promos are. Thank you for joining us, folks. Good night.